Hello, everyone. Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews. It's 2 weeks, but the shortest stack of 2 weeks ever. 5 books. Um, let's save my complaining for the end. And we'll go right into a brand new number one that I was very, very excited about. That is all of our favorite mutant. Her name is Magik. Illyana Rasputin. And let's find out who's the people that gave us this awesome comic book. As soon as I can get it to open. It's Old Man Comic Book Reviews, and old men have dry hands in the winter. Alright. Writer is Ashley Allen. Artist is Joman Peralta. Cover artist is J. Scott Campbell. I mentioned that because, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of his. The interior art's great, but apparently he's a very popular cover artist. So here we are in Alaska. We have Magik doing what Magik does. She's with the X-Men, the other book that I buy, at the Sentinel Factory in Juneau, Alaska. We got people complaining about mutants, and then the bad guys show up, and she's saving the day from all of the bad guys. It's interesting because she uses stepping discs to teleport people to safety. But the only way you can do that is first you got to ride through limbo for a second. So while it seems like it's very nice, it's not. And they're trying to use mutants to break a magical seal for a demon. So now she has to find out what's going on, fight the demon. She has a new friend, Callan Isaacs, and he's going to help her and learn the magic. But my favorite thing that they did was the other monster that used magic. She used a silence spell. So the verbal portion, component, as you will, of the spell was gone. So it was ineffective. It's very interesting. This is a well-written comic book. I hope it's not a miniseries. It didn't say it was a miniseries. They could just let her have her own comic book forever and ever. Second new number one, Aquaman is back. I'm not sure what this whole beard thing is. It's like, dude, we don't want Aquaman to have that. So we have our writer is Jeremy Adams. Our artist is John Timms. Art, by the way, it's right off the bat, big old splash page of the God Killer monster. I did think it was cute that on the cover the shark he's riding is biting the Aquaman logo to let you know it's an all-new Aquaman, because he has Mira's water powers now. I don't know why. There's a reason for it. I'm not aware of it because I didn't read that all in nonsense. But and he has to fight giant kaiju that are made entirely of seawater, which is awesome. And then something happens to Atlantis, and he has to save the day, basically. So Aquaman is back. Back, baby. I'm very excited. Aquaman's one of my favorites. And it's not written by Tom King, so I'll buy it. Alright, Miles Morales, issue 29. He is with Black Panther and Wakanda. Cody Ziegler is our writer. Danielle De Niculo is our artist. And they are teaming up with Bast, the goddess Bast, and the god Anansi, the spider god, to rid everyone of this vampire nonsense from Bloodhound. I can't believe Bloodhound's been gone for a while. So I'm not really sure. They dragged it though, didn't they? Ugh. So it's still a good book. I'm excited to see what they're going to do for our big number 30. See what's up. They said it's Deadpool. So there you go, Deadpool. I like Miles. Miles is a good Spider-Man. Speaking of bad Spider-Man, now we can't blame Peter Parker because it's not his fault that these people are doing these terrible things. This is issue 65. This is the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. Let me get the usual subjects. Joe Kelly is the writer. Kafu, C-A-F-U, Kafu. And this is part 5, signifying nothing. So we have the girl and boy team, brother, sister. And her thing is she shows the inevitability of death. So it's them just killing everybody in the Spider-Man universe. And I'm tired of Phil Coulson being Death. Whoever thought of that, I don't like it. I'm not really sure what the point of this entire issue was. It's just, it's not good. And he's had enough. He's like, I quit, which is about right, 8-part arc. Part 5 is a little close to halfway, so your hero decides he's gonna quit. The cover is beautiful. I love this cover. Is it a different person than Kafu? Let me look. Because it feels so classic Spider-Man, but then the writing and what's going on in it is just trash. Cover artist Mark Bagley and Richard Isanova. Well, anyways, it's a great cover. It's all I can recommend about this book. I'll be glad when this 8-death thing is over because it has worn out its welcome for me. Then they did this thing called 65-point deaths. So it's part of the 8 deaths of Spider-Man. Once again, cool cover. I wonder if it's the same guy. Should we find out? Let's see. Cover. It is. Okay, so here's our problem. This looks like, smells like, and feels like a filler. I don't know why they thought they'd throw in an extra book. Derek Landy is the writer. Kev Walker is the... Oh, is there a penciler and an inker so I can blame everybody properly? Kev Walker is our penciler. Kev Walker and Wayne Von Grawbadger, which is such a great name, are our inkers. But we're not going to have Wade get in any trouble for this because he's not the penciler. He's just an inker. And this deals with Phil Coulson talking to Peter about the inevitability of death, I guess, from the last issue. The thing is, and get a good look here. Good look. This doesn't look like Phil Coulson or Peter Parker. The art in this is horrendous. This comic book serves no purpose. There's lots of splash pages where they're sitting on the couch while stuff happens around them so he can see all of these things that show that he saves people. Duh, it's Spider-Man. So, and it talks about how Phil Coulson, when he was a child and his grandpa died, he met death. So, anyways, that's 2 in a row of garbage for this storyline. This was a misstep in every direction. This is just a piece of garbage. I wonder if this is how people felt back in the day when they would have just terrible issues of Spider-Man. But it's awful. The artwork is awful. The concept is awful. It's so damn wordy, and not in a good way. It's just, I don't know what drum you're beating, but you need to stop because we're all tired of hearing about it. I'll be glad when Doom takes over the Marvel Universe and we'll get a new thing and this 8 things will be over and Spider-Man will have saved us from the Cytorek once again, because that's the only thing that's going to happen, folks. Nothing else is going to happen. I wasn't real sure about that particular concept when I first heard about it, but I do need a Spider-Man book in my life, and Amazing has been around and it been interesting at least for a while. I'm just hoping it just kind of stops soon. So, let's see. I think everything is a superhero book this time. It's 2 weeks and we only have 5 books, so that's some pretty slim pickings around the compound here. We don't usually get such a few thing of books. Talking about reading comic books. We're going to talk about reading comic books. But first, I'm going to talk about David Lynch. No, he didn't write any of these or anything like that. David Lynch is one of my favorite directors and passed away on Monday from at the age of 78 from emphysema. Anyone who's a big, huge fan of David isn't surprised by that, of course, because the man smoked like a chimney. So that's not a big surprise, but it is sad that he has left the building, gone off to wherever David Bowie went, because we know neither of those guys died. And so, yeah, we had cherry pie and coffee in his honor last night after I got home from work. And it was, yeah, it's not a great start to a new year, is it? Yeah, when one of your favorite directors or one of your favorite directors that you watch has left us and will be making no more films for us to go, what are you thinking here, David? I said that a lot. My first movie I watched of his was a theatrical release called The Elephant Man. The makeup was really good, so I never watched it again. It made me feel I didn't like it. The movie I liked, but just that I couldn't look at that anymore. So I didn't bother watching it again. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen The Elephant Man, I recommend it. Special effect for the Elephant Man makeup is awesome. John Hurt does a wonderful job being the Elephant Man. Yeah, and then of course Dune, and everybody was doing big space operas and stuff. Dune came along. I watched that. That was awesome. Then it made me read the books for Dune I'd never read before. But yeah, those were those books are. It's a thing I've done. And that was it. I was hooked. Blue Velvet, Twin Peaks, Lost Highway, Inland Empire, Wild at Heart, Mulholland Drive. There's another show he did called On the Air, which I really adore and needs a very good release. Like big old 4K, not 4K, I don't care. But just like Blu-ray would be nice. Because I've seen it, but I've seen the TV print. And it's not great. But yeah, all of his things were great. It was great for him to be here when we're here and give us those amazing things. So he will very much be missed, and I'm going to watch a bunch of David Lynch in the near future. We're still watching Twin Peaks right now. We're on season 3, which I like about 80% of season 3. Season 1 and 2 are awesome. Season 3, about 80%. About 80%. That's what I like. So I want you to go out and read a comic book. I don't think David Lynch ever wrote a comic book or drew a comic book. He did. He is an artist. He was an artist. Yeah, go read a comic book. Go to your comic book store. Use your phone. Go to the library. We go over this. Every single time that we do this. And yes, I just did for it on camera. Sorry. Apologies. I said excuse me. So what do you want? Old men do that. So yeah, that's all I've got for that. The David Lynch thing's left me a little sad. But I want you to go read a comic. Go. You've got to go read these things. Well, except for these Spider-Man things. But everything else is so great, and I'm so excited to see where Aquaman and Magic are going to lead us. 2 completely different kind of comic books. You got the King of the Sea and a little girl who is the Queen of Limbo. Oh, King and Queen. There you go. There's your running line through there. So, yeah. I'll see you next week. I think there's a couple extra books next week. I'll see you next week, and please, go read a comic book.